Hola, minasan! Welcome back for another round of One Piece. We had ourselves an awesome epic battle going here. My man Luffy grabbed a giant kaiju and beat him and used him to beat all the fishmen over the head with him. All the fishmen got beat over the head with a giant kaiju. It's like bam, bam. Zolo's injuries from Mihai caught up with him, and he's out. And poor old Usopp is running away, being chased down by who was it? Chu, right? Yeah, being chased by Chu and his smack. So another jumbo size edition, 5 chapter run of One Piece. So let's not waste time and let's get reading. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 86. Heroism versus Fishman cruelty. Ooh, the air screamed out over Arlong Park as the battle continued on. Hachi collapsed on the ground to the sound of a thwomp. Poor old Arlong, with his vein bulging, gird in anger, and Sanji taking a puff of his smoke stared down Kurobi, ready for another throwdown. Suddenly, Solo got up. He planted his hand on his knee, taking long, deep breaths. Have to hurry, Luffy, Solo said. Stop, Solo! Sanji pleaded as his attention was turned to his crewmate. If you go into the ocean like that, you'll die. Shut up. Luffy's got to be at his limit by now. I can't wait around for you to fight, you fool. I know there's no time. Sanji smirked as he took another puff of his smoke. I'm stopping you because I know that all too well, crap swordsman. Huh? And Sanji dove in. Dove right into the water. So you can't blame me for doing this, right? You idiot. Kurobi laughed out loud. That idiot, Zolo screamed out. That's exactly what these guys want. Kurobi jumped up and dove into the water. And oh, I'm sorry. That's actually Arlong. That's Arlong. Sorry, let's repeat that. Whoa! Where in this Western world? You humans are no match for us. What an incredible fool! And as Sanji dove down to catch up to Nojiko and Genzo, he spotted them at the floor, somehow giving. Am I seeing this right? Oh my gosh. Okay. Okay. Sanji noticed Genzo performing CPR on the water while Luffy's neck is stretched up. Isn't that the head village man? Come on, breathe. Please let us be in time. Is that Luffy's stretched neck? Hurry, before my breath runs out. Oh. Meanwhile, at the surface, Nojiko's holding on to Luffy's head at the side of the pool. I'm sorry, I don't have the strength to bring up your whole body, but with the stretchy neck of yours, you could at least cough up some water and breathe. So Genzo continued pressing into Luffy's chest, and a whole geyser of water gushed out of it. Plish, he said, as it sprayed into Nojiko's face. Yes, That's it, Mr. Genjo. Good. Now even with his feet in the rock, he can at least breathe. Sanji thought as he dove deeper. Then I just have to shatter the rock with a kick and leave the rest of the old man, despite the fact that the water has a lot of friction. Kurobi said as he, whacked Sanji on the back of the neck. And Sanji immediately went bloop as his air gushed out of his chest. Those want some cocoa letters, but the rest are not the line. Oh no, Genjo thought as he saw Kurobi heading right for him. I've been spotted by a fish man. They're all around the single afterwards. They'll fly one more time in the wall. I'll try now. Kurobi dove real fast until Sanji managed to grab and wrap his arms around Kurobi's legs. To which Sanji thought, not if I can help it. I'll be all you can do to hold your breath. His tail whipped around Sanji's waist and completely squeezed him in. And Sanji kicked him in the face hard to the sound of bloosh, somehow managing to overcome the friction of the density of the water. I was winning. Down here, your pigs have half the force they'd have on land. Blow fishman call, there's no loss of power in the water. And fly the power of some news as it'll multiply. And Kurobi delivered a kick directly into Sanji's stomach. Sanji struggled to keep his breath in his throat while simultaneously having his bowels release out of his buttocks from the bowel buster. He then Kurobi spun himself towards Sanji, and when he unfurled his body, he delivered an axe kick directly in the back of Sanji's head and left him floating lifelessly. A direct hit into the chin sent Sanji's head back. Blood splurted out into the water itself. Then Kurobi stretched his his right arm back, and stretched his fingers out for a palm press attack. A direct hit into Sanji's face. Blood splayed all over the water. Genzo saw in horror as Sanji flew or swam into a bunch of rocks, causing a small avalanche to fall on top of him. However, Kurobi noticed Sanji was swimming alongside the cliff of the pool. Look, I let out too much air. I need air. Sanji thought to himself as he floated very quickly, but Kurobi intercepted him to the sound of kloof. Grab, let me pass. Air, I gotta breathe. Sanji held on to his mouth as his veins bulged out of his skin. The pain, the burning sensation of the carbon monoxide eating away at his lungs. Your ability to take my annoying out is not no for him, Kurobi said. Let me explain to you the consequences of your fool how you want to escape from Italy, you can't. The game ends only in one way. Death! And when your lineage, I'll kill the Mellish headman. The rubber man will die all the same. Then I'll finish off that long-nosed fool in solo, and kill all the villagers for the rebellion. Then I will kill my own people. Then I will kill all the people in the world. I'll kill everybody. And after all this, I can't very well let that little Nami get away with it. Do you understand? Sanji nodded his head as his cheeks puffed up. And then the holism just so much harder. And I can't tell it at all. Your humans truly like powerless prisoners. Kurobi planted his hands on Sanji's shoulders and gripped tightly. You can't live in a northern China and wall blossom. If you were to step by properly to the bottom of the ocean, your guts will be squeezed out of your body. But in actuality, what would happen is that not so much that your guts would squeeze out of your body, but you would end up with the bends. Kurobi dove Sanji fast down further into the water pressure getting to him. Gotta change the plan! The old man will have to take care of Luffy for now! Sanji thought to himself as Kurobi laughed out loud in the water. To the sound of a plunk. I won't let him get away with this! Sanji gripped his, curled up his hand to a fist. It thinks I can't save anyone! And just as they were about to... Oh, never mind. They reached the bottom of the ocean. And to the sound of a cup hop, Sanji's mouth gushed out more blood. Meanwhile, on the surface, Johnny and Usaku continue monitoring the situation. Brother Cook's not coming out, Johnny said. And what happened to Sister Nami's sister, not mine? Yosaku said, to the sound of ooh echoing from the building. Sanji pointed his finger like All Might. Kurobi looked in shock. What's that? You're next, Sanji said. These fishmen, Sanji thought as Kurobi swam at high speed back up to the top. Breathe with their lungs on land and switch to gills in the water. So right now he's just a talking fish. The second plunge. The Kurobi stared at the ocean depth. Fish die when air is forced through their gills. And with that, Sanji planted his hand planted a little kiss on Kurobi's neck, where his gill was wide open. He pushed in the air he had left in his mouth, right down into the gill. Oh! The pain of the air shot through Kurobi, burning his gills hard. And it should be the same with him, he thought. With time now had, Sanji immediately jutted out of the water and inhaled. And then he puffed his smoke. That's some good smoke. Huh? Oh. Huh? Arlong noticed what had happened. Sanji, Solo hurried over to. Oh no, he's still sitting there in one spot. As Sanji pulled himself out of the water, gasping and hogging and hawing all over the place. Don't worry, he's all right. Sanji slowly build up his energy. He is? Half of him. Half. I'll explain later. And Sanji pointed out at the water. Come out here, you lousy fish. I'm going to finish you. Cough. Cough. You still don't understand. Oh, wait. Is that Kurobi? No, that is Kurobi. Oh, you still don't understand. I'm not stronger than you are. It doesn't matter if we're out of water or not. I know you made me mad. He jumped out of the water and took a JoJo pose. I'll destroy you, the ultimate move of Fishman Koala. I'll send you flying before with 100 big fists. But my greatest move is the 1,000 big fists. The livelihood of your survival is 0. And suddenly, a leg came flying right at his forehead. His monologuing has come back to bite him. Collier coupe! Collier is the French term for neck meat. And with one big strike, Kurobi got knocked off his feet. He stumbled to keep his footing, but Wow. But Sanji Chojo posed his leg up into the air. Police, bro! Which means shoulder. And Kurobi landed face first into the ground upon impact. Oh, what did you say you do to me? Sanji said as his hair flopped over his face. He screamed out as he delivered another kick. He swung his other leg. Kurobi was getting pummeled everywhere. One last kick right into his chest. Chani and Yosaku was in horror at what Sanji is capable of doing. Gigo Charlie! He swung right into Kurobi's leg, delivering a nasty little Charlie horse. Oh! And Kurobi was on one knee. The Sanji screamed out as his kick delivered multiple strikes and it sent Kurobi flying into the air to the sound of "ooh" by the wind. I guess you won't be needing dessert. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. Chapter 87. It's all over. Volume 4 of Kobe and Helmeppo's Chronicle. They're studying. I love these one-shots at times. It's so wholesome or funny. Kurobi crashed into the wall with smoldering smoke and debris flying all over the place to the sound of kabloosh. The sound of ooh echoed through Arlong's ears as the wind mocked him. He stared with anger. His eyes bulged with veiny red rage. And there was Kurobi laying on the ground, knocked out. Kurobi? Hachi. Like I said, insignificant small fry. Sanji smiled to the sound of Dadu. Looks like we're the winners of this game. Solo sighed in relief as Johnny and Yosaku stared out and gaped with flies entering their mouths at what Sanji had accomplished. And there Sanji stood looking out at Arlong as the wall imprint, the wall hole shaped like Kurobi lingered in the background. How dare you wipe out my most valuable officers? Arlong said as he was covered in furious rage. Who you think you are? You said Luffy's half okay. What's that mean? Solo asked Sanji, ignoring Arlong. Ignoring Arlong. It means he's not dead yet. Sanji kept his eyes on Arlong as he replied, I'll have to go back down to the ocean floor. But it looks like that guy isn't. But it looks like this guy isn't about to let me. Meanwhile, further from the combat zone, Luffy's head is held up in the air as he's taking slow, deep breaths to breathe. Nojiko looked in horror as she realized who Luffy's crew is, what Luffy's crew is capable of doing. Those guys are incredible. They defeated two of Arlong's best men. And Genzo popped up to the surface and gasped for her. Gasp! That's it. I can't hold my breath any longer. Take a break, Mr. Genzo, Nojiko said. I'll go down now. He's coughing up water, so we're close. How's it going over there? Why are there thought bubbles? They're actually talking, unless it's whispers. I guess it's supposed to be whispers. Nobody's been killed yet, in fact. I was afraid to believe it until now. I still can hardly believe it, but I feel a rising sense of hope about this battle. Meanwhile, out in the forest, Usopp fell down covered in blood. Smack. You gave all your eyes, Tues said as he stood with his lips puckered over over Usopp's butt. Your blood was pretty kissing, and you're pretty fast for a human. But then you died from one shot of my lipo blaster. How disappointing. Oh, at least I got to kiss your blood. Now I'm gonna live. My coma should be finished by now. Chu started walking away as Usopp suddenly had his heart beating to the sound of blunk. Success! I'm saved! Good thing I made those catch-up stars for just this kind of situation. He, he thought to himself. That guy thinks he hit me with his lipo blister thing. Just keep walking, lips. Sheesh, but what a terrifying species they are. They can flip houses upside down. A whole village of them. I do feel sorry for Nami, and I wish I could do more to help, but if it means getting killed, I'll pass. I'll just lay down here, close my eyes, and take a nice long lap. Nice long nap. Nice long nap. You know what I mean. Oh wait, I'm covered with ketchup blood, but I wish I had a few more battle scars. Well, what kind of adventurer am I if I don't have a few more battle scars? So let me smear dirt all over myself, then I might look like I fought a real battle. What should I say when I get back? Sorry I lost? Dude, we're a team, aren't we? Usopp remembered Luffy saying. Oh, I almost had him, but he got away. Don't cry, Nami. It was a hopeless battle. Usopp continued rubbing dirt all over his arms. And then he remembered what Zolo said. I prefer death.
I prefer death to defeat.
Well, we all put up a good fight. To which remembered Sanji. But hey, compared to a bunch of woman-hating crap pirates, he's not so bad. Wow, that was a tough fight. Usopp said. To which he remembered Nami's words. To which he remembered Nami. It's business. I had no choice. My wounds aren't that bad. He started thinking of Johnny and Yosaku. We've been waiting for you, brothers. And Nojiko. Can you understand what a painful choice that was for her? And the whole entire townspeople. Let's fly. And Usopp lowered his head in shame. You should have seen me fight. He clutched his shoulder, his body vibrating, tears welled up, and he realized what he was saying. This is shameful, he thought to himself and wiped away his tears. Hold it right there, fish guy. I ain't dead yet. I'm just scared. Chu stopped. And and Usopp freaked out. You're alive? Smack. The moment I decided to leave my village, I said goodbye to peace and country, he thought to himself as Chu spoke. You think I let you... Oh. Usopp pointed out and taunted. You think I'd let you hit me with that wimpy half-fish squirt gun? To which he thought. Luffy and those guys live every day like there's no tomorrow. That's why they can laugh so heartily. Dude, ha ha ha, dude. Usopp remembered his laugh. That's the reason I set out to sea in the first place. Usopp grabbed one of his pellets and loaded up his slingshot. Because I wanted to laugh with gusto like them. If I don't fight with everything I've got, then I'm not worthy to sail on the same ship with those guys. I'll just be a punk like these guys. He stretched his slingshot out. Death blow! To which he thought to himself, how could I ever laugh with them again? Firestar! He released his pellet. And it did nothing. You don't think that's gonna stop me? Chu pulled his right arm back. The fist aimed directly into Usopp's face. And with a single swing, blood gushed out all over the place as Usopp bounced up into the air and then flopped onto the ground. as as Usopp's blood dripped off the knuckles of Chu. Chu looked back down at him with disdain. Your blood. Your blood must be also because your body. Smack. It's all over, Usopp said as his nose was broken and snapped in 3 places. It's all over for a little. Ugh, ugh. As Usopp screamed as Chu continued stomping on his chest. It's all over. Smack. Usopp's hammer! He swung his mallet, striking the shin of Chu. Chu felt that and immediately stopped. Oh! Hey, welcome to the show. SS Shun 1X. welcome. And Usopp made a makeshift slingshot with his thumb. Usopp's rubber band of doom! It was a rubber band, and upon release, it struck Chu in the face. It blinded him temporarily, but it turned out to be a feint. What? The full trickling! And something flew at him. He caught it midair. It was a bottle. Balls? And suddenly, Usopp screamed out, "The deadly lead star!" It was a pellet that broke the glass and shattered the alcohol all over Chu. Blood scraped him. He splurted out. He spurted and spurted. Oh, this power is full of insolent. Smack. He said as he wiped the alcohol off his face. But no matter what you have, all boss from this pot. He immediately stuck his face into the water and sucked it up into his mouth. Smack. He said, "That fish can say whatever he wants," Usopp said as he hid behind the tree, gasping for air, collecting his body, his thoughts, and recovering some of his strength. "Whatever happens, Usopp, will not run from this fight. If I lose, I die. I'm a pirate now." And Chu was as fat as a blimp. He formed the water within him and fired out of his mouth. And a giant spirit bomb-sized water ball flew right through the forest. It destroyed a lot of trees, knocking them down, and Usopp freaked out. "Wow! What power!" "Oh, I have to fight this fool." "Oh, there it is." He saw Usopp's head sticking out from behind the tree. In shock of what who was in shock of what he saw from Chu's attack. And every single strike was pouncing off the tree trunk. Usopp ducked, screaming, "Ah! How did he find me?" Not realizing that he stuck his head out of the tree and exposed himself. "Darn it! You'll see former Usopp's pirate crew member, Kaya. I went to sea to become a pirate. I'm going to fight, and someday I'm really gonna be a brave warrior of the seas. My easy days of pretend pirating are over." Usopp grabbed his slingshot, and he immediately jumped out of the way as Chu kicked the tree over from all the damage it took. "Ah!" The Chu grabbed the tree and held it up into his hands over his head. "This fight! Did you know that grog burns?" "Huh?" Chu looked at his hands covered in the liquor. "Deadly fire star!" He let out a bullet. It struck Chu and lit him on fire. Go! To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 88. Die. Oh man, Axeman, the Axeman himself is chained up. That's crazy. Shore boys aboard Captain Morgan's prison ship. Dang. Captain Morgan's fisherman. Usopp delivered a very powerful strike that lit True on fire to the sound of "ooh" by the trees. He screamed out loud, "Oh, walla, walla." Usopp gave chase as he noticed what was about to happen. If he dove into the water, the fire would clear out. Oh, smack. Walla, walla. Usopp's. Walla. Hammer! He delivered the blow right in the back of Chu's head. He stumbled into the water and laid there floating charred. He was devoid of fire at this point, but he struggled to climb out. Huh? Usopp's hammer! Usopp's hammer! Usopp's hammer! Usopp's rubber band of doom! Usopp's hammer! Usopp continued on, pummeling into the night, bashing Chu over the head. With many lumps forming from his skull, Chu laid in the water, knocked out to the sound of doom. I beat a fishman! Usopp screamed out with arms thrown into the air. I won! And he collapsed onto the ground, taking long, deep breaths. Oh, see? And with a big smile on his face, he yelled out with his mouth wide open and a fly entering into his throat. Even I can win if I try. Did you see that? Darn it! Don't ever underestimate me! Meanwhile, back at the Tangerine Grove of Nami's house, she dressed her stab wound that she made, as she continued wearing Luffy's hat. She sniffed her armpits just to make sure they were nice and fresh smelling. I'm done crying, and I voice my complaints. Then she left her house and started running through the town. I've made up my mind. My mind is made up. I have to go and join the fight. Dude. It's the sound that that Arlong made as he stood over Zolo and Sanji laying across the ground injured. One of the townspeople noticed. Was it all a dream? To which Johnny replied, to which Yosaku inside, well, what did that nasty shark do? I don't know, Johnny said. Looked like you just splashed them with water, but then they coughed up blood and collapsed. And covered in blood was Sanji and Solo. Solo couldn't lift himself up, but Sanji, he pounded on the ground in frustration. Meanwhile, further away, Genzo got another splurt of water out of Luffy. Please breathe. As Nojiko down the water on the at the bottom of the ocean continued pushing CPR into him. Luffy's fingers twitched. Did he move? Just a little more. Brother Cook, stay down. What happened to Brother Luffy? He couldn't have died, they said as they watched Sanji stand up, staggering a bit as he stood before Arlong. Please, come back to life, Nojiko prayed as she continued pushing on. Sanji coughed up blood. Solo merely laid there with dots, speaking in dots, ... And Arlong showed a cup of water within his palm. I could destroy you weaklings like you without even touching them. A handful of water, all it takes. Such a difference in strength between fishmen and humans. What a joke! Between Twitter. Sanji attack was sidestepped as Arlong kept the water from spilling out of his hands. He then splashed it onto his leg with a whoop, and Sanji felt it. and he flipped over somehow as the water exploded and he landed on his face. He coughed up blood. Ugh! This guy's no joke. He makes it look easy. Sanji says he lifted his body up and more blood poured out of his mouth. But he's like a shotgun blast. So this is the power of a shark. Even among the shipmen, the fishmen, he's in a class by himself. This is nothing we've ever faced so far. And Arlong looked down at him. Go ahead and die. Your wives me are worthless. Ah, Arlong, Nami said as she stood behind Johnny and Yosaku with her power pole in hand. Sister Nami! Nami, they said as the whole townspeople looked in horror at her standing before him. Nami? This Nami! Oh, I was just about to blast this no-account pirate to bits. What brings you here? I've come to kill you, she said. To kill me? In the 8 years you've been with us, how many times did you try to kill me? Assassins, poisons, ambushes? Oh, he laughed out loud as the townspeople heard. And the result? I'm still here, ain't I? Oh, you of all people should know that no mere human can kill me. Now listen, I'm not going to kill you, but I won't let you go. You're going to be my widow cartographer forever. And that sent a shiver down her spine. The trauma all creeping back into her mind. But I'm a reasonable fishman. I don't want to hold a young girl against her will. I prefer that you keep working for me of your own free will. Now, I'm about to kill every human here except for you. However, if you're willing to rejoin my crew, I agree to be an officer and draw ocean charts. I'm willing to spare the people of Coco Village. He pointed out to her people. But these two, of course, will die. And he kicked Sanji in the gut, knocking him over. They caused me too much trouble. Well, what's it gonna be? Come back to me now and save your favorite villages? Or stick with these weak ones and try to fight me together. But if you look at the shape of these two are in, you can see what tragic mistake that would be for your villages. Well, Nami, are you my shipmate? Or theirs? He smiled at her. She looked at her crewmates laying on the ground on the verge of death. She looked at Arlong and his creepy, evil face. She thought, if I say I'm Luffy and Solo shipmate, everyone may get killed. But if I say I'm Arlong, so all the villagers will be spared. Is it up to me to decide who lives and who dies? The ethics of it all. I don't know what to decide. I was just only a 10-year-old child, you fool. And this is what you do to me. And then she remembered what Luffy said that when he found her. Okay, dudes, let's be righteous. She immediately pulled Luffy's hat over her face, trying to hold on to her tears. But that's dirty. He's gonna keep Nami no matter what she decides. The townspeople screamed out. She closed her eyes. The pain, racking her mind. I have to believe in them. And she turned to her townspeople. I'm sorry, everyone. Fight and die with me. And the crowd cheered, hooray! With their pitchforks and axes and every weapon imaginable raised up. So you all want to die, Arlong said. As Nochiko realized what was happening with Luffy. Huh? His hand gripped her shoulder. He was able to splurt out the last of the water. And there was a loud sound. Bluga. Plush. A geyser of water shot up into the air and caught everyone's attention. It was Luffy. What? He's breathing! All that's left is to free his legs. Oh, that's what that sound was. Solo struggled to look up at the geyser of water. Could have been. Brother Luffy, the brothers said. as Nami looked in that direction. Hey, wake up! Genzo screamed out to Luffy as Luffy opened his eyes with tears in his with tears pouring out and snot gushing out of his nose in a bulging vein to the sound of doom. Ah! Gasp, dude. Solo, bended knee, immediately raised his thumb and aimed it down. Ah, Solo! Nami smiled as Zolo kept it, as Zolo Jojo posed his thumb. He then planted his sword into his mouth as him and Sanji started to get up on their feet.
30 seconds. I won't last more than that.
And Sanji got the signal. That's plenty! He jumped into the water, and Arlong, trying to figure out what in the world has going on. Our one park has no fountains. Could it be that Wubba Blat? And a slice across his cheek caught his attention.
Don't worry about it.
Zolo said with his three swords armed to the hilt and his veins bulging out of his arm
You ugly bottom feeder. Your problem stands in front of you.
I warn you about calling names, dead man. Underwater, Sanji dove further down with his newfound energy, making his way towards Nojiko and Luffy. X-Star! Arlong said as he gathered up the water and splatted at ready to splat it. Oh, he threw it out. Out of nowhere. Who's screaming out here? Oh, okay. Okay, now I know where this comes from. X-Star! And Arlong's attack shattered before he had a chance to swing at Zolo. I've got your back, Zolo! Usopp screamed out from far away. Brother Usopp, brother Usopp, how brave! Yosaku said. He's alive, but where is he? What a dramatic entrance! Everybody's looking out, wondering what's going on. Fight all you like. There you are. Usopp. Usopp. Nami, I be one of Arlong's officers. Me. Usopp pointed pointed at himself. Meanwhile, Genzo's talking to Luffy as his eyes stared out into the abyss. Can you use your strength to free yourself somehow? No, dude. No can do. I'm just too weak. I'm in the water, man. Sanji getting closer to oh my gosh, this is chaotic. Sanji getting closer to the bottom of the water. I'm counting on you. You're our last hope. And Hachi lifted himself up and gasped for air. He said as blood poured out of his nozzle. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 89. Trade off. Helmeppo and Kobe still working at it. Death penalty. Sanji's diving fast to Luffy to break him from the concrete that he attached to himself on that he attached his own feet to like a moron. If I could just kick around Luffy's legs to pieces, he can swing into action. He's the only one left with any hope of beating Arlong. Meanwhile, on the surface, Solo is having this fight with Arlong. Johnny and Yosaku cheered on. It's Brother Cork! I don't know what he's doing down there, but we're all counting on him. Brother Solo, hold fast. Yosaku raised the pirate flag up and like a cheerleader. Solo stared down at Arlong like like little Max staring down Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's Punch Out. Arlong, with a little grin on his face, said, "Not only do people with devil fruit powers lose them underwater, but the ocean also takes away their will to live. So if that breath is still alive, then someone must be helping him." Nojiko thought to herself as he struggled to pull Luffy's feet out from the concrete. "Come out, come out!" "Hey," Luffy said, "where's your pinwheel, Mr. Dude?" "That's not important right now." "Dude, it was cool." "Not now, kid."
So,
Solo said as he pointed his sword at Arlong.
why should we? This is our game.
"Correction," Arlong said. "It's my game, and I won't allow any cheating." "I've got to stop Arlong from going after Sanji," Usopp thought. "Hey, Arlong!" he screamed out to the fishman. "Over here! I'll distract him." "What? Brother Usopp!" Johnny screamed out at what he had done. Arlong stared out, turned his eye over to Usopp, and Usopp used his rubber band on his thumb to stretch it. "Usopp's rubber band of doom." "Since you're standing in front of me, you must want to..." Oh. To which then Arlong said, "Since you're standing in front of me, you must want to die, Wowozoasoa." "Now, go, Zolo!" "Ah, what are you trying to do?"
I'll shatter that nose you're so proud of.
And with the swing of his sword, he connected with Arlong's saw-shaped nose.
Oh?
Zolo said as he realized it's not breaking apart or anything. "Fool, the reason I'm proud of this nose is because I can't be showered."
Crap.
"Even if you had willpower, you'd be lucky to scratch it." And wow, Arlong leaned very close as Zolo used both swords to hold him back. The very tip near the edge of his forehead. "Look over there." "Oh, the octopus guy's getting up," Johnny Yosaku commentated. What's he gonna do?" And Hachi raised all 6 of his hands, shivering from the pain. And he realized what happened. "Oh, what?" It turned out Hachi was fooled by Usopp's feint. "What? See, I scared him. You aimed at Arlong." "Ah, you aimed at Arlong,"
Octopus.
Solo said when he saw what was happening. Hachi said, and he dove into the water. "Crap," Solo said as he struggled to keep Arlong in check. "Don't worry about it. Now you're all going to die." And he pushed himself into Zolo to the sound of a shunk.
Oh.
"Brother Zolo!" The brothers screamed out. Meanwhile, underwater, Sanji still hasn't gotten there yet. As he saw Nojiko struggle to break Luffy free. "Leave the rest to me," he pointed to himself, thinking to himself. And Nojiko nodded in agreement. But she noticed someone coming from above. "A fish man!" "Get back! I can shatter that rock!" Sanji signaled for Nojiko to get away. "Die! Die!" Hachi screamed out as he hurried downward, as he dove downward. "Just one good kick," Sanji said as he aimed his leg ready to strike. "Octopus he screamed out as Nojiko stretched her arms out and got in between her and Sanji. Octopus! Watch out! He screamed out somehow in the water as Hachi's fist came right at Nojiko. Solo! Usopp screamed out as he saw Arlong hold Zolo up in the air by the head. So many bandages. Did you have an accident? Arg! Zolo screamed out as his neck was crushed. And then he thought it over. He noticed the wounds. It was one long wound, all the blood pouring out from it. Where you get all those wounds? Ah! Everyone looked in horror at what Mihawk left behind. How can he be still alive? How can he stand? Arlong thought to himself, very curious as to what happened there. And Zolo glared back at him. Those eyes. Those are the eyes of a dying man. Then I shall show him mercy. I better finish him off right now. Zolo chuckled. Eh? Lying still would have kept some of those wounds from opening up. Oh, that's Zolo's dialogue. Lying still would have kept some of the wounds from opening up. You're probably right. Arlong smiled. For some reason, not delivering his fatal blow like he was supposed to. Is that your idea of a joke? I wasn't talking about me. I meant Octopus Boy. Blood gushed out of Zolo's mouth. What? I told you this is our game and we're winning. Meanwhile, underwater, Hachi froze in place. Then screamed out, "Whoa!" Blood gushed out of his body all over the place. Nojiko was shocked. Sanji was like, "Whoa!" And then he delivered his kick. That was close! Luffy was freed. His legs started floating in the water to the sound of glub glub. You got us into this mess in the first place, you moron! Hey, dude. Yes. Now get us out of the crap, kid! Hey, dude. Are you free, kid? Oh, yeah. Go beat that crab shark to death! And Luffy's body slung shot up through the water at high speed. Genzo's helped pull Luffy's body up. Hey, dude! And his body launched up into the air to the sound of Luffy's cheers. I'm back. Uh-oh. Luffy realized he was high in the air as everyone watched on. It's Rubber Boy, Brother Luffy. Ah, Luffy. Hey. Phew. Genzo lay down, letting out air. The Rubber Boy. It's about time, that idiot. Solo, dude. Luffy stretches arms out and grabs Zolo by the collar, catching Arlong off guard. Huh? Hey, wait, it can't be. Hehe. Trade you places. We're tag teaming. What? Zolo got launched out into the air as Luffy used it as momentum to pick up speed, and he dove right at Arlong, and the whole crowd screamed out, "You're in it! Gum gum!" Luffy stretched his neck out again and launched it at Arlong. Bell! He connected with Arlong, caused blood to gush out of the fishman's mouth, and he stretched out his leg and swung it around. Whip! And he connected to Arlong's gut, causing more blood to gush out. Everyone was horrified. And Luffy delivered another blow. Bullet! Then he unleashed his flurry of orders. Gatling! Order, dude. Everyone was horrified. They didn't know what to make of it. But Arlong, he fell into the debris, and a few rocks fell on his head. Dude. Did you do something? Arlong said with a smile on his face, and he stood up. It didn't work! Oh no. Yep, dude. I'm just warming up. Luffy cracked his knuckles. I'm gonna kill him. Zolo said as he laid in pain as the open wound shot through his spine like a flame over wood. One Piece, to be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda, Chapter 90. What can you do? I don't know, Helmelpo. Why are you pointing at me? I don't know what to do. You know? Seriously, I don't know what to do. So why are you asking me what can I do? All right? I don't know. I don't know. I'm just here to read this for everybody at home. So stop pointing at me and asking me what can you do. Okay? Okay, thank you. Arlong stood to his feet. Arlong sat on the floor after taking a pummeling from Luffy. He laughed out loud. Ha ha ha! How tenacious we, you scum! Hold on by your stubby little teeth. But you would have been better off dying peacefully at the bottom of the ocean. 1, 2, stretch them abs, yeah, dude. Luffy said as he continued stretching his body and snapping his back in place. I'm glad they rescued me. Can't you understand why I'm upset? Arlong said. Said as Luffy continued on stretching, doing calisthenics. I've watched my beloved comrades be defeated by worms. Arlong pointed out as he watched Luffy do sit-ups in front of him. I'll soon make you wish for a quiet death. The townspeople were very quiet as Johnny and Yosaku continued their commentary. Is brother Luffy all right? Yosaku said. All the ferocious attacks didn't even seem to phase Arlong. Hey, where did brother Solo fly off to? Johnny looked out into the sky. Usopp stuck his head out of the hole in the wall. Go, Luffy! I've got your back. Ah, big deal, Nami said, and Sanji took out his wet cigarette and lit it up. He sat all chill, nursing his wounds, as trying to relax and regain his energy with Genzo and Nochiko. If Luffy loses, we're all dead. He threw his cigarette away, realizing that it was all wet. Well, that would be the end of the East Blue. You're right. Solo just laid there in pure anger. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. I'm gonna kill him. And Arlong stood up to his feet. Do you know the difference between you and me? Our noses, dude. There was a slight pause, a moment of silence as Luffy asked again. Our chins, dude. Is Brother Luffy joking? I think he's serious. Web toes, dude. No! Species! Hup, dude. Arlong chomped his teeth at him, ready to bite, looking to bite into him, but Luffy sidestepped him easily. Arlong delivers another chomp, and he just keeps on chomping at him as Luffy dodged him, knowing full well that those sharp teeth will pierce his skin, one of his many weaknesses. Arlong grabbed him by the neck. Dude. And Arlong's mouth opened wide, ready to bite his head off. Dude. And Arlong, oh snap, man, that's cool. Arlong took a snap as Luffy just grabbed his head with his right arm and stretched it to the side. Whoa. That idiot. He bit into stone. He's disarmed himself. His teeth will break in. Suddenly, the whole entire pillar broke into pieces and collapsed. To which Johnny and Yusaku screamed out, "Ah! He chewed up that stone pillar!" Well, scary dude. That would have been my head there. To which Sanji screamed out, "If those jaws clamp onto Luffy, they won't just leave marks. He'll be eating up bones and all." Superhuman strength is the birthright of all fishermen, Arlong said as he stretched his arms out. "The heavens didn't smile you puny kind in that regard. You're inherently inferior. From this moment of birth, an unbridgeable gulf separates our species," Arlong monologued. "He's right," Usopp said. "And no human can span that gulf, no matter how hard he trades." "So what, dude?" Luffy kicked the pillar, punched the pillar down. "That's nothing." He aimed his fist at Arlong. "You don't have to have big teeth to crush stone." Good one, brother. "That's right, show him, yeah!" His point was to argue, Arlong said, and started charging at Luffy. "Humans are stupid, weak, foolish species. You sink like rocks in the ocean. What can you do?" "Maybe I can't do anything, dude." Luffy grabbed grabbed the pair of swords. "But I have friends who will rescue me because they are righteous." Nami was silent on hearing that. "Shoo!" He aimed his two swords up. "Does he even know how to use swords?" Sanji said with a chill. Rah! Luffy started swinging his swords blindly at Arlong, making it easy for him to dodge left and right. "What's this? You're just swinging wildly." And Luffy flicked the sword into Arlong's face. "I'm bored with your games." "Huh?" Luffy swung the next sword, only it chipped off and split in half. He screamed out. And then Luffy spun around and delivered a kick to the face. "Frah! For enough foolishness. Whench your teeth." "Dude, is my fist." Luffy was right behind Arlong unexpectedly, laser focused to the back of his head, and delivered a punch in the face somehow. with his arm bulging a vein, Arlong stumbled over and fell to the ground. His teeth cracked, shattered into pieces. "Whoa!" And everyone cheered. "Ah!" Luffy dropped onto his butt as Arlong covered his mouth. "He shattered Arlong's teeth!" "Whoa!" Arlong shivered and shaked all over the place. "I don't know how to use a sword, shark face." To which Solo laid there saying, "That idiot." Johnny screams out, "Huh? What's he on about?" "My God, Luffy." "I don't know how to navigate either." Luffy screamed out as he stood before Arlong, as he nursed his teeth, and Nami was silent. "I can't cook." Sanji heard him. "And I can't tell lies." "Hey, that hurt." "I know I can't live without help from a lot of people." Luffy screamed out. "Wah! What a clever boy you are to admit your own helplessness. What a burden it must be for your crew to have such an idiot for a captain. I don't know why they fight so desperately to save you." Nami let out. It was getting into Nami's head. "You lack the slightest shred of dignity or ability. What gives you the right to be the captain of a ship? Just what can you do?" To which Luffy smiled. "I could beat you, dude. Because I'm righteous." And the townspeople screamed out, "Do it! Brother Luffy!" "Ha ha!" Nami laughed. "Get him, crab kid!" If you die, I'll kill you. I've got your back. Babble away, cockroaches. Hey, his teeth grew back. Luffy noticed as new shark teeth stretched out, replacing the broken pieces. I'm a shark. They always go back. Each time stronger than before. What the? Wait, what the? What's he doing? Oh my god. I never seen that. Oh my gosh, that never happened. Oh my gosh. Yo! Oh my gosh, that's actually pretty gruesome. Arlong took his freshly made teeth and ripped them out of his mouth and said, "An endless number of times." And another set of teeth grew out. He then grabbed that new set of teeth and yanked them out and said, "An endless number of times." And everyone was horrified at what he did. This is a special power bestowed by the gods. Well, dude, I want to do that too. Now do you see how superior we fishmen are? And another set of teeth grew out of Arlong held his old set of teeth between his hands and clamped them up and down like a pair of mouths. Tooth attack! He screamed out, catching Luffy off guard. Huh, dude? Wait. He immediately blocked the attack, but he didn't see the other hand coming at him. Grah! He screamed out, and he began to chomp away at Luffy over and over and over again. As Luffy screamed out, "Wah!" Blood splurting all over the place. Luffy! The Johnny screamed out. Sanji was shocked. Usopp was shocked. Nami was shocked. And even Arlong was shocked. What? Come what? Phew, dude. It turned out Luffy lifted one of Arlong's crew and used him as a shield, causing the poor crewmate to scream in pain and cry in pain as teeth marks formed all over his face. Why you will, Gum? And Luffy smiled. Hey, I just thought of something fun. To be continued. One Piece by Eiichiro Oda. That was a great set of chapters. Oh my gosh. Switching between the scenes was very seamless. Oda did a great job without causing any sudden pauses. Like it didn't disrupt the flow, the whole ebb and flow of what was happening at every single fight. It was very, very consistent. Like for example, right here at the very start, we get the dive, and right over here, we're seeing the diving happen this whole entire page, and then cut right over to here on the surface, and we're seeing what's happening on the surface, but then cuts back right away in the ocean, and that was pretty good. It was very seamless. It didn't disrupt the reading. It didn't disrupt where everybody was, and this was very, very, very tense. Again, using the environments. I've said before, this whole entire arc really takes advantage of all its environments and really shows how well Oda has developed since the Klahadore arc. In terms of delivering great fight scenes. I have not been bored of these fights. Klahadore really was a boring fight. That was a whole boring arc, quite honestly. But here, there's so much inventiveness going on. We get an underwater battle right here with Kurobi and Sanji, and see how they fight underwater with the whole fishman karate thing going on. But we also, we also go right back up to the surface. It doesn't really last that long, thankfully. Sanji figured out how to do it. And that's the other good thing, too, that I'm liking about it, is that these one-on-one fights are not lasting chapters upon chapters upon chapters upon chapters. It's ending within a chapter, and that's great. The pacing really holds up. Just like in the my gosh, this whole entire sequence here, just like in the live action One Piece that I saw, Sanji doing all these moves, like they one right after another, one panel at a time. The fact that they captured that in live action now makes it even more cooler. Seeing this and knowing that that was duplicated in the live action, I like that. That was pretty cool, and I love that we're seeing all of his attacks, all of his different strikes. Really took that. It's like he summoned up his super move, like a Street Fighter super move, and just went pretty cool. But this was a good fight between him and Kurobi in the underwater, and we finally get to Usopp. We finally get to Usopp's fight. Did we get to Usopp's fight yet? No, not yet. This one, we're still dealing with the whole underwater situation. Um, yeah, we Usopp is the next chapter, isn't it? No. This is Usopp's fight. Yeah, so we get to Usopp's fight in chapter 87. He faked him out with ketchup. That's pretty cool. Faked him out with ketchup. But this was a great character development here, because Usopp. Now I've always said that Usopp was brave from the get go. Like when it counts the most, he will summon up bravery and will shoot and attack and everything, take the initiative. But it's very interesting that here and I wish that would have been in the live action, quite honestly. But here we get to see Usopp, coming to grips with the fact that if he wants to really be a pirate, he wants to be a man of the sea, like he wants to be, he has to show some level of bravery, summon it up sometimes. It is scary, and that's what's great about Usopp. I think that's what I like about Usopp is that he is aware of how dangerous the sea is. He's not like Luffy. Luffy is like in a whole nother universe at times, and keeps forgetting that there's danger all around. He tends to forget that other people are in danger. Like he doesn't express the self awareness, even if he is aware of it. If I can put it that way, Usopp's the opposite. He is completely aware of danger. Okay, and he is 100% scared, but he was able to finally summon up the courage and realize that this is shameful. Like there's nothing wrong with having fear, but don't let the fear control you. Don't let the fear, fail your friends, basically. And he is a long range fighter. He's a long range. He's an archer, basically. His job is not to go hand to hand in the front lines. His job is to fight in the back lines and deliver all these things here, And for him to overcome it and finally show some courage, you know what I'm saying? And he doesn't need to be in the front lines. He, you know what I'm saying? A good sniper like him would hide. You know what I'm saying? He would hide and snipe. And that's what he should be good for. And he could still express his fear, but his sniping would be to his advantage, in which he can express his bravery from. And it's great for the team too, because having a sniper like him, and he's a good marksman. He really hits his targets. Luffy's has a great teammate in Usopp. And for Usopp to overcome it and actually deal with
This
Shu
is a red alert.
and
We are being
able
raided.
to take
All
advantage
hands
of
to
all of
battle
his little
station.
tricks
All personnel arm up
and
and cancel the circuits.
abilities. Thanks for the raid, Clockwork Ghosty. Welcome. Thanks for the raid on the Twitch side. Welcome everybody. Woo! We got a raid going on here. Thanks for the raid. But what's also great was that Usopp was able to not just only summon enough courage, but when he had the advantage, when he had the edge, he was in which Chu was gravely injured from the deadly fire star, that he was able to run up and hammer him in the head and pummel him completely. So good on Usopp. And I hope to see more of that from Usopp. You know what I'm saying? Where he uses fear as his ally more so than anything else. As for Nami, you know, was able to get come to grips. She came to grips. She sniffed her armpits. She took a good long sniff of her armpits, grabbed her power pole, and went to join the fray. And what was cool is that she was ready. Was that she was rallying everybody. She rallied everybody. But before anything could officially happen, uh, Zolo and Sanji used whatever energy they had left, as Arlong gave her the ultimatum. Either somebody's gonna die, which is absolutely true because Arlong is extraordinarily powerful. But Sanji and Zolo backed her up. Just as Luffy unleashed one heck of a geyser of exhale of the water. Like, how much water did he put in that body? No, seriously, look at this. Seriously, where did all this water come from in Luffy? My man, and he wasn't even bloated up or anything. Gotta have that. Gotta have that. But yeah, Nami, rallied up the townspeople. They're ready to go. They're ready to throw down, but they don't have to do it anymore because Luffy is awake. But there's still one little problem. That is that idiot shoved his feet into the concrete, and Sanji has to go in there after having almost died fighting Kurobi to break him free. Idiot all around. Idiot all around. Usopp showed even more bravery. Again, being the sniper that he is, and saved Solo from getting completely obliterated. Everybody looking in horror at his injury that Mihawk left him behind. Like, seriously, Solo is built different. What an awesome character. I like Solo. He's completely built different. But yeah, Solo didn't do much, but that's okay. I mean, he just needed to buy time. He just needed to buy time for Luffy to get freed. And good old Usopp pulling off the feint. His line is one heck of a strong point. I can tell you this much. His fibbing, his lying, actually is playing to his strength there, because he can sell. And he sold it big time because because Arlong really should have done something, but instead he didn't. He definitely tricked Hachi, a newly awakened, re-energized Hachi. But yeah, Usopp is coming through big. Nami's doesn't understand what he's doing, but yeah, he completely bluff. He's a good bluffer. Usopp is gonna be really cool. He's gonna be a really cool character. I could see him bluffing everybody out and everybody pausing. Solo unfortunately couldn't slice the nose off, but nevertheless, a lot of everybody is shining, man. Everybody is shining. I just want to note excellent artwork by Oda here, showing the wounds here, the depth of it. Very gruesome what Mihawk did to him. You can see the staples all around, all up and down. That's pretty nasty, and really shows just how powerful Mihawk is as a swordsman. Amazingly enough, just enough powerful enough not to kill him. That's a fatal wound, and he told him, if you survive all that, I'll take you on again. So that just shows just how crazy Mihawk and what he has done, brought about. But nevertheless, everybody stalled for enough time, and Luffy actually made it. Shot up into the air in comedic effect. He just snatches Zolo and flings him into the air. Really love this shot right here. I really love this. This is actually a cool shot. You see him like a dot in the sky. I'm back. That's really cool. That's really cool. So now we get we finally get Usopp versus Luffy versus Arlong, and it's a pretty good fight. I mean, they're pound for pound, one for one, hitting each other, but gotta love his stretches. He's like, yeah, I don't care. I'm just stretching here. I'm stretching. Luffy is just too happy-go-lucky, man. He's so happy-go-lucky. How infectious. Very, very annoying to everybody. But never. But yeah, we get some nice sequence of attacks and everything. Luffy just doing everything again, oblivious to the fact that he's messing with the sword. My gosh, Luffy's swinging all these swords here. Seriously, he's swinging the swords, and then his response is, "I don't know how to use a sword." Shark face. It's like, oh my gosh, come on, Luffy, you're swinging a sword, and that's what you're worried about. You shattered his teeth and you're worried about that. Hilarious. Oh man. But yeah, we find out which I wish that would have been done in the live action, honestly. And that is Arlong messing with his teeth and creating this. Cuz let me tell you something. That actually surprised me. That he ripped out his own teeth, grew out one set, and then ripped it up. Very inventive, very very inventive, especially for combat. And naturally, Luffy just freaking used Arlong's own guy to protect himself. Oh man, that's a good panel here. Luffy smiles like, yeah, I got that. Just does something fun. I wonder what that is, but I won't know until next time. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, follow, you know you want to. And head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man Strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the links down in the description below, along with links to other merch such as pins and t-shirts, stickers, and music. Help yourself. Thank you for your patronage. And if you're interested, in volunteering, you can join me on my Patreon and volunteer if you're interested. And if you want to catch all of this in the Raw live, head on over to my live multi-stream on Twitch and Kick, Monday through Thursdays, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there. And so, until the next set of chapters, I thank you all for joining me, and I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oisumi nasai.